Hello, we're back with two Luffys, two new, sort of new Luffys. The one from the starter deck and the blue-purple Luffy that's been pretty popular in Asia and pretty OP to be honest.
Yeah, OP might be an understatement. Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's the first time we get to see them this week, right? Basically. Last week we did get a bit of the black purple Luffy, but we didn't get to commentate on it, so I guess it's gonna be quite fun. And we have 42 viewers, which is quite high numbers. Thank you so much. I'm hoping you all enjoy the games. Okay, so how do you feel about this matchup, Rene? Do you have much insight into
Yeah,
it?
and I think in Asia, black-purple Luffy got a bit more popular towards the end because it had a decent blue-purple Luffy matchup, but they were playing like a very aggressive variant with the 6-drop Luffy, 7-drop Sanjis, and just trying to go to Nika as fast as possible. This list looks a bit different, but just in that there's no tank or sneaker,
Yeah.
but still very aggressive.
I mean, we do get the new cards that basically let you become a 7K, right? So you need to make space for something. Although I do like one Nick or two to cheese the game out in certain scenarios.
Have your opponent respected, yeah, but these players do not. I mean, maybe they know each other's deck list, but not officially.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Uh,
But yeah, they're friends, so probably they know.
that is fair enough. Where's your money at today? Are we thinking Asmir or Traich?
I'm on Asmir.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
not rooting for Traich. Never.
yeah. I was just gonna say that. I feel like
I'm,
if
I'm
it's
never
any other
gonna.
players playing this, maybe different. Okay, so we start with VP going second and going for Law. I'm not sure whether you want to go first or second in this case, right? Because I guess both decks might want to go on the first curve.
Yeah, I would assume both want to go second. The first in this matchup.
Yeah, yeah, like Black Purple naturally also plays quite nicely going second, right? But there's gonna be some aggression on this one, so maybe you just want to take away both the curve
I'm
and
not
the
sure
first
about
hit.
this deck list. I think this deck list, black purple Luffy really wants to go first. I think blue
Mhm.
purple is more flexible going second on this because
Yeah,
here on three down, if going first for the black purple Luffy gets to ramp to 4 and then gets to ramp to 6, which he can play the 6 cost Luffy, both of
yeah,
them if he wants to. It's a little bit
mhm.
more awkward for them.
Yeah, that does make sense. Like Black Purple seems like one of those decks that actually needs to get a good die roll win rate, especially against the bigger monsters in the format like Blue Purple or even Buggy, which seems to be the flavor of the week pretty much. Um, okay. Did you see what we picked up, Sorajura? Sorry, I wasn't paying that much attention.
The chopper, the new one. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure,
Oh.
unless I'm tripping.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But
The
that's a really strong card.
GGG Insurance. Okay,
Yeah, then
we don't
going
need from.
second for the blue purple is very strong too because now he's at 9 next turn. Actually, so he doesn't need to double ramp if he wants to play a 9 drop.
Yeah, that does make sense. And you even get to play a mom if you really need to and stay on a ton, which lets you get things going, which is great.
Or gamble a Sanji.
Or Gambo Sanji, you know?
That would be my favorite thing to see.
I mean, that
Yeah,
would
but
be quite funny.
going second for the black purple Luffy, he doesn't really need to ramp because he still gets the 6 ton anyways. So Zorojuro is pretty strong.
Oh, yeah. It basically helps your consistency to get that 7k leader. And we're seeing the 6 poke and the 7 poke.
It's an 8, I think. Yeah,
Oh, true.
6 and 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the dawn on it. Fun. Yeah, I didn't realize the dawn minus 2 gives you 1 extra dawn, so yeah. 6 and 8, which is better than 7 7. given that they do run a lot of 2Ks. Okay, now we have now the actual game begins.
I guess to
6
swing
at
6
0.
at 6.
Yep. We do want to defend that.
I mean, if you gave it up, then next turn your opponent can only swing at something that's a 7k, but then you also lose out on the
Mm.
swing. So yeah, I think if you have a card that you don't need, you're defending that.
Yep, there we go.
Chopper.
Oh, that's. I mean, it is interesting, but there might be a second chopper going on there, right? And it's only really key to remove the last one when they're lethaling. So depending on what the plays are now, not that key. Okay. Katakuri is gonna do some heavy lifting there, setting up the nines afterwards, right? It's fairly easy to defend. Weirdly enough, lets you Gam Giant more freely after the non minus. That card's pretty strong actually. It's somewhat weird that you get a very green effect on it, and rather than costing you Don, it gives you Don at the end of the
I
turn.
mean, purple is the everything color, I'd say, so
Mhm.
I think it's fine. I mean, then a different color would have made less sense. In purple, it's fine. I mean, 9 cost mom heals, so I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we should start about talking about 9 cost mom healing before we start about 8 cost
Mhm.
category restanding.
Oh no, it's a completely like well fair card. It might be annoying, but I don't think it's unjust or anything along the lines.
It's strong, but like good strong, I think. It's not like
Mhm.
8 drop Gecko Moria strong.
Okay.
And, and now you get a bit punished for leaving the Bonclay up.
Mhm. That's also one of our favorite plays, right? That's not a Sanji, but it's effectively a Sanji. That's pretty much the same as Gamma Knife in something.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, comes the 7k leader again,
Hmm.
I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
he used the ability.
Yeah, and now we're gonna go 2/8.
We giants this.
That's interesting, but I guess we're on 10 done after the kata, right? So
Yeah, just cycling. Might be better than block 1k. Maybe has a few spare giants.
yeah, now you get to block 1K the next one, right? Uh, just cycling, you might be looking for the Sanji if you haven't found it quite yet. Yeah. No, I do like the sequencing order. I guess there's not many options to be done with that 8 afterwards, but
I mean, maybe he just didn't have a good 1k to pitch. Maybe only had 2ks.
that's
And
fair
then
enough.
1 to.
We did give a 1K for the Zoro swing before, right? So yeah, maybe it's just running a bit low on the 1Ks and needed to cycle some brick.
Yeah, but Sanji 9 cost mom would be a bit annoying now, putting the 6 drop Luffy into life.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then swinging an 8 into the Sorojuro, or a 6 and an 8 into the Sorojuro. Yeah.
Yeah, the 6 first and then 8 somewhere. Maybe 8 into the Sanji, just to get some cards out of his hand instead of giving him life. Yeah, 6
Yeah,
into
I
the.
don't think there's any interest on going live for the blue purple right now. So yeah, definitely
I
contest
mean,
hand
could go. Yeah, I
sized.
was about to say it just could go 9. I don't think there's much. There's no reason to keep the Dawn for Giant.
Fair enough. Yeah, if you get to heal now, you're
Oh yeah,
very, very
Luffy is
safe.
7 cost because leader has it on. I forgot.
Huh. True.
The leader has it on.
I guess. Oh my god, yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, but no
Mm.
mom anyways. But yeah, the leader has it on.
Yeah, I mean,
I
would
mean,
you
I
play
only play
the
real
mum
decks.
there?
That's why.
Would you
No,
play
in
the
that
mum
case,
there?
no. In that case, I don't think I would. I mean, maybe you just didn't have it, but you had nothing to put in life unless you wanted to put Soroju in life, but that one you got off the 6k swing anyways. So I
Yeah.
think the Katakuri is just better long-term value.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think if both of them were an option there, I do believe Kata's a bit stronger. Even though it says sample on it, still a bit stronger. Okay.
I mean, now I don't think it looks that great for Black Purple Luffy. If he doesn't have a strong turn. You would want to stick a 9-cost Luffy early to put some pressure, like getting a 10k swing every turn. That would be ideal. But if you play it now, then your turns like swing 7, swing 7 again with the ability from the other Luffy.
Mm.
The Katakuris are doing a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. That's gonna get a lot of value on the swings for pretty much free.
I mean, do you
Huh.
block them is the question. I mean, you end up taking a 10 to one of the Katakuris in that case, I think, if you free block it, but you have no Don. So you maybe just surrender one of your Katakuris to the 10k swing.
I mean, you're gonna get two sevens, an 8, and a 10, or 3 sevens, I guess, and an 11 if you block one of the sevens. Ah, I'm not in love with this, but I guess it lets you keep the Sanji standing if needed.
Yeah, swinging leader first is definitely better.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like swinging 8 rather than 7.
Just forcing the block. I mean,
Or,
you could have swung 7, and if you blocked, you just go 11 on the Katakuri instead of
yeah,
swinging into life.
that's what I was thinking. And if you don't get the block, I guess at that point you get to decide whether you want to swing the Sanji or just go 12 at life as well, which is going to be harder to block and counter off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's better, but now because now you get the life, which is huge. Because if you spend 2 swings outing one cutter and then there's another like Sanji 9 Mom or Sanji new cutter, then I think the board side looks pretty bad for you. Especially if it's like Sanji 9 Mom and then you have 2 life
Yeah.
cutter blockers and 2 Sanjis in the 9 Mom. Then you will
Mhm.
have a hard time pressuring lethal at some point.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I think this outcome is the best for him.
Huh?
But yeah, now we are in the territory that the blue purple Luffy player loves. He has a big board and just gets to grind out the game with a lot of big swings and drawing 2 cards per turn.
Yeah. He's on no life, but if we do get the signature play, that doesn't really make a huge difference.
Yeah. I mean, these Katakuris are basically 2 life.
Yeah.
And an 8k swing. Yeah, play Sanji, Tonami.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, maybe no big drop in there. But Nami is still strong.
Yeah, it is.
Gets to cycle his entire hand basically. Still some defense. And then there's 3 blocker. I mean, you may have the chopper to stun it on, to rest it on, but there's still 3 blocker anyway.
Yeah. I don't think you can go for 4 big swings anymore. Your Luffy is also dead. Which means you don't get to buff your leader easily.
Yeah, surviving the next turn is gonna be a big challenge, but also winning this turn is an even harder challenge, I think. Looks pretty bad.
Mhm. I think you need to play for lethal in this spot. I don't believe you have the tools to wall up properly, which is gonna be annoying. Another 7 Kosanji would probably be one of your best options for lethal here.
Mm. Yeah, almost the only option. I guess Usochi as well, but that's about it. I
Also,
wouldn't
Hachi
end.
Chopper would probably give you some decent edge.
I think Sanji might. I guess Sanji. Yeah, the chopper is good. Sanji's a bit better, I think, maybe because you get Don back from the Sanji and an extra swing. But then,
Yeah, now,
oh,
now
do you
what?
get Don back from the chopper too? Right? He's -2.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
it's
Then.
-1 or more, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think the Usochi
So
chopper
Hachi
plays
Chopper.
better because then it's only 5 Don because you get 1 Don back.
Hmm.
But even then, you have 5 Don to go for lethal with this board against his hand into blocker. So it's not very likely.
No, and there's 4 huge bodies to your 2 life. If we want to block her up here, it's basically just down to choppers, right? We're not running anything else.
Yeah. Chopper and then maybe a giant in hand.
Mhm. Oh, there was also the possibility of aligning to KO that Nami, right? So lining plus chopper, but having good. At a
Okay.
slightly more reduced cost.
Okay, that's a 10k swing, right? Yeah, so block 2k, 1k. If he has it.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Is Traich not playing giant?
No, he's playing giant. It's just a bit cut off at bottom left.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I see it. I was just panicking when taking a look at the the deck. It's like, where is it?
If there is someone capable of not playing giant in his deck, then it's him, to be honest.
Yeah, but you would have been berating him for a while now, so I think it makes sense that he's actually running them. Okay.
If there is a bad deck list, then it might be his. Yeah, but still surviving is gonna be a bit more difficult now.
Yeah.
I don't think he has many cards in hand.
I mean, that does look somewhat maybe 4, 5. He's basically just been playing 1 card per turn. I know we have been giving a bit of counter earlier, right, to stay safe, but he might be on 5. Like that does look like quite thick a hand.
But Asmir doesn't really need to go for lethal as well. You could just try
No.
to kill the Sanji and chill and play another. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe play another Nami, keep some Don, just poke, and then go for lethal next turn. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, I mean, if Traich doesn't win next turn, then you win for sure.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Imagine
Okay.
Hody Jones playing a real deck.
Okay, we're taking that 9. Mm. I guess what I don't like that much about this.
Okay, Giants.
Like, you still have a real shot at lethaling here, right?
Yeah, he has like 3 or 4 cards in hand. And then your cutter restands anyway, so you're not that much committing to it if you just swing. That's a 10.
Hmm.
That's good
Very,
for
very
2-2.
interesting number. I guess now you're safe with giants, so.
I mean, if he counters the 10, then you could technically just swing at the Luffy. Because if he has 3 cards in hand,
Yeah.
gives you 2-2. Just swing 12k at the Luffy. Keep 1 down. Because he searched Giant at the beginning of the turn, if I'm not correct. From the leader ability.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you counter this, then you could just kill the Luffy. Oh, he has a lot more cards than it looked like.
Ooh. Oh, that's bad.
think now he has
Yeah.
1 card or 2.
2 cards in hand.
Oh,
3,
still
actually.
3. Okay, maybe he's just cheating.
So he
Looked
had
like a
6
lot
cards.
less
It did
cards.
look a bit thick. It did look a
Oh,
bit thick.
okay, that's us. To me, it looked like
Oh,
a lot less.
we're getting him down to 0. Or requesting one more 2K, I guess.
Curious to see what he does with his remaining 5 done.
We do want to keep one up for Giant, probably, but the only reasonable blocker is
He has Nami
Nami
that
on these
costs
spots.
5.
Yeah. Okay.
Search trigger.
Come lining. Ooh. I'm not mad about that.
Oh, he just has 5 done to available now. Maybe he has a bunch of giants.
That's fair enough. It's a valid survival strategy.
I mean, he does know the next cards in his deck, so there might be a giant in his next few cards as well. Or like gear 2 and stuff.
This deck is busted.
Yeah, and you can't get choppered.
I mean, you can, but it's not gonna help a
Yeah,
lot.
it's not gonna do a lot, yeah. Yeah, now you have to try to go for game with the 40 € card.
That is gonna be a lot of 8 swings, isn't it?
Yeah. And one of them is gonna be a 10. The one's probably
Yeah.
just getting blocked or something.
That's gonna be 4 8s and a 10, probably.
I mean, if you do the ability, if you swing 8 with this, the 2K Luffy, the one that gives you bonus power, then you get 1 down back. Then you could, yeah, 8, 8, 8, yeah, and a 10, just infinite.
Yeah.
But I think this is better. You get one, you swing 7 and then get 1 down back.
So you
And then
get
you
to
could do
pressure with 9. Eh,
I mean, he can't just free block this. You're still getting resources, and then maybe you do go 7, 7, 10, 10, 10.
I guess this is good if you expect him not to have a 2K in hand, right?
He pitched a lot of 2Ks earlier, so yeah, it might be
Yeah.
possible. Then now you just 7, 7, 10, 10, 10.
That's fair enough.
Okay, it does have a 2K.
Oh,
I mean, 8s here with this, like, Asmir doesn't really have that many cards in hand, so 8s do not benefit him too much because they're just getting gianted. So now
yeah.
10, 10, 10, 10 is better than going 8s.
I guess so. That requires giant plus card, but you're gonna get 2 blocks, right?
Yeah, he needs to counter 110. Which I guess he does now. I feel like I would have blocked it instead of countering it now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there's a few giants.
That's somewhat wild. Good news is no leader effect from blue purple next turn. So,
Yeah,
small
not really.
victories.
Yeah. I don't think he has a next turn. You don't have enough dons to make the law work. Because you need 4 don for him to swing, and then you only have 1 active don, so no restand. If you had 1 more don, then you could have went 7, 7, and 6. But I guess now that he's drawn so many cards, maybe that's still getting counted. I just passed.
There.
Watch him survive this. Nah, it's not possible.
No, there's not enough giants. I mean, he's not played one, right?
He's played one last turn.
Okay.
What a time before, but I think it was last turn.
There's not a lot of Dawn to play with, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he has a bunch of giants in his hand, then he might just survive. But
9, 9, 9, 9. So 4 9s and a 10 is your max lethal possibility now here. Oh,
yeah,
okay. That's
oh yes,
that's also an option. That's 15, right? So that requires
that's
2
the
giants and
giant.
a card. Yeah.
Yeah, then 9, 8, 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. When this the can Sanji is very difficult to get them out. Ah.
Yeah, the next card was giant, but I think you needed more than one giant.
You needed 2
Like,
giants, right? That puts you to
yeah.
15. 2 giants and 1 card.
And then you still need 9, 8, 8.
Yeah, so you need to draw all of those like two Ks and a 1K somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would have been fair though, because Asmir just went through 3 giants on a single turn as well. So you know, it would have been just balancing the
Yeah.
universe to get the same from Traich.
Would have been payback.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Traich gets to choose. I would assume he goes first.
Hmm. I think you just get to pressure a bit more, right? And in other decks, it's a bit more annoying because if you have an even curve, you normally cannot swing sixes. But over here, you're going to ramp an active every time you do -2 to
Yeah.
ramp regularly, right? So you get
Yes.
to still swing sixes or sevens in the case of Zoro Euro fairly easily. Does Robin also leave it standing? I should probably open my decks.
I think Robin has the same effect as Zoro, yeah. Wait, he doesn't even play the 3 costs, I just realized. He
Yeah.
only plays Maria, Robin. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
only the 2Ks. Not the 3 cost Zoro.
Huh. I guess.
I guess
So
maybe then he
you're.
chooses second. Then maybe his plan is just playing Zorojiro into a 6 drop. Then I could see him choosing second, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess decklist known that does make a bit more sense. Hmm. Those Sanjis are not great on the matchup. The black ones, I mean. I
Yeah, your
have.
opponent's not really playing anything in the early game. I mean Zorojiro, the 3 cost maybe. But that
Yeah, but
already
that's a bit
swung
late,
at that.
right?
Yeah, that's swung at that point.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean maybe Bonkley and stuff, but yeah, it's not your main game plan here.
It's one more removal for the Namis in the mid to late game, I suppose. That's pretty much about it. Hmm. I have found myself like trying to theory craft a bit, at least of purple black. And the more I think about it, the better it just turns to just be purple Luffy with extra steps. Um, the format is not very kind to removal right now.
Okay, plays Maria. Which is pretty strong even when it's not answered here.
Mhm.
Because your opponent, you ramp and then your opponent also ramps for you.
Yeah.
But doesn't get to swing. Because Maria ramps end of turn with the leader.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get to be aggressive. But you could have giant at that point, so you know. Uh, okay.
Yeah, now hopefully he has 6 drop Luffy and gets to swing 8.
Yes. probably eating alive here. Or a guard point, I guess. Gear 2.
I think it's. I mean, maybe you kept it on for gear 2, but I think you're happy to take it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have 2 gear 2s there, probably fine.
He's on 7 Don now, so you could play Nami and set up Sanji for next turn. Yeah.
And now is where the Sanji would be uh, somewhat clutch.
I mean, if he has a Sanji now, then he can play it next turn. But you also need something good to play Sanji into.
Sanji category would definitely turn the tables a bit.
To see Sanji pudding. Just mulligan his head.
It's fair enough. I see Sir has joined us and has established that his favorite deck is Pedif, but we also have 50 viewers, which is great. I know we broke this last week, but it's one of our higher watch streams, so thanks everyone. And thanks, Jack, for sharing that list on chat as well. Take a look at them, they're quite interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gives him a 2k.
And now we are on 8th Dawn.
This turn feels a bit awkward, having 8 Don instead of 9.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a bit annoying as well, because you do get to Dawn minus whatever you want twice thanks to Maria, but you do get the problem of only having 9 Dawn on the way back, right? Because that's where our opponent is at. Even they ramp less than we have.
I mean, if you play Sanji and then use the Luffy effect, you're also at the same amount of Don. So that's fine. But you could use both of those effects and use the Maria to get 1 Don back.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Not sure if you want to, though. It's a bit risky, maybe. But I guess taking your life here isn't even too bad, because your opponent's just gonna swing at your board.
Mm-hmm. You do want more resources now. Although I guess right now your opponent doesn't really have anything to swing at, even, right? So you're gonna get 7s pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, so taking life may not be too risky. But I mean, maybe your opponent starts swinging at your life then. Maybe it plays Sanji into Luffy, or just Luffy. 9 drop.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you probably want that extra card from live to be able to defend from an end swing from Luffy. Good news is if they do Sanji Luffy, they basically cannot swing with leader.
I mean, now you definitely do 2 swings. I feel like your opponent just took a 7, so you do 8-8.
Yeah.
That leaves you with no Don for defending, but I think that's fine. You get to pressure a lot.
Yeah, there we go. Ooh.
Then maybe even Nami goes, unless he drew 2k 1k. Maybe just pitch it, letting Nami die is better than 2k 1k.
Oh. It sucks a bit though. Unfortunately, those are 6 costs now, so a big mom is gonna be super annoying.
Yeah, now there's no Don on leader, so now the Big Mom is annoying. But I guess that at least puts him up to 3 life again.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it would be
your
very
heavy
annoying.
hitter is gone. Well,
Let's
I
see if
guess
he
it
set up
depends.
Sanji last turn. But I assume he's very bricked. So even if he plays 9 mom here with no Don, maybe he's just dead.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because he couldn't counter out of the 2k, 1k with Nami.
Yeah. He even took the 7s.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
There she
Which is
is.
surprising after playing Nami, being bricked up after Nami.
Yeah.
So yeah, put the Rush Luffy away, I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford not to do that.
But yeah, now Traich can really put some pressure at the opponent's hand. He has a lot of cards, but just based on what happened last turn, I
That's
would assume none of
9
like
cards.
not of lot yeah, but not a lot of them are gonna have counter, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't have taken a 7k, I think.
Does
So
he have another rush?
maybe just play another Rush Luffy, yeah.
I think
Okay.
if you have it, you 100% go for it. Oh,
This
that's
one
a
is good
different
too.
rush, Luffy. Yeah.
You definitely don't want to swing just twice big, I think. You definitely want to establish something. Otherwise
Mm-hmm.
you fall behind if it doesn't work. Okay. He gets to swing 7, 8, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which is gonna be expensive without counter.
Oh
Oh,
no.
he has no 2Ks. So 8.
Oh, that's gonna be super
Oh,
expensive.
I think he's just dead. He might
10.
just be dead, yeah.
Oh my god. That is a bitter ending to game 2. And I guess that happens sometimes with this deck. Oh, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That wasn't as close as game 1. Game 1, the deck really worked. In game 2, the deck didn't work at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of karmic justice there, but like, wow, that felt very wrong. I guess it happens, right? Like, the list is actually running a terrifying amount of bricks. Hmm, 11. Oh my god, 15.
I think he plays an unusual high amount of RAM too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's to die for and God Thread is a lot. I think
Yeah.
usually people choose one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's running 4 Sort Euro, 4 Bone Clay, 3 God Thread, and 2 It's to Die For. Plus the usual gears. But yeah, when you don't have done up, over half the deck is bricks. That is terrifying. Very, very terrifying. Okay, so now we get Asmir to basically pick who starts, right? We are assuming that the first game he chose to go first.
Yeah, and then Traich chose to go first, so I guess now he goes first again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Traich seems to be satisfied. Both seem to be satisfied with their hands.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I got someone calling at the door and I'm the only person at home, so kind of had to open. Okay. So
Hopefully
yeah,
you
we were
told them to watch the stream.
we were right on the money then, right? Asmir is going first.
Swing 6 and ramps, I would assume. Who gets the surge?
And here we have Beer Luffy's back.
See, Jack always says I'm the weird one, and then you look at the chat, and
I kind of don't want to, but yes.
then somehow I am the weird one.
I'm okay, cool, good stuff. Maria again. You know, I think you broke me. The Reggie deck just makes me get so much more value of Maria than pretty much any other alternative. That now they just look like, yeah, it's fine. You get to ramp, but it does do some work. It's just somewhat annoying that since your deck is designed to -2 several times, you only get to be exactly on a bit less than your opponent with Maria. That's fair.
Yeah, my Maria usually gets me 5 done. That's
Especially if
balanced.
it's around with the judge there, right?
Yeah,
If you somehow manage to keep her.
that's balanced. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
fair and
Takes the
balanced.
8. Okay,
Huh.
leaves the Don standing. So I guess this time he wants to gear 2 out of the swing. But this time it would be a 9k swing, right?
Yeah, we are on 7 now, thanks to the
Yeah.
ramping.
So this time it would be a 9k swing. So no gear 2.
I mean, you can gear to 1k, which is
Yeah,
slightly better than double 2k, I guess.
I think then just taking lives better. Oh, he chooses to not play
Huh.
the Luffy.
Beer Luffy. That is surprising.
I mean, maybe he wants to play 2 Zorojiro instead. Yeah, I mean, is it? I don't think it's that surprising because he has. Yeah, if he has 2 Zorojiro, then it might be decent.
I guess you get to ramp to 8 and get 10 done next turn, right? We're both on 7, so Maria brings you back to 7.
Yeah, maybe he's bricked up or something and just wants to cycle his hand. And then 2 6k buddies isn't that bad.
It's not, but you're not applying any pressure to hand, so now
Not in
Luffy
this turn,
gets to
yeah.
play very, very calmly. Like a rush Luffy now would be a bit backbreaking.
Yeah, bouncing the Zorojiro, yeah, that would be annoying. Or 9 mom.
Yeah. Or the other rush Luffy, right? Or, yeah, either of them.
But otherwise, next turn you get to apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. There we go. Away goes the pressure, but we're back on 3 life. Oh.
To be honest, you're just so used to putting stuff at the bottom at your opponent's life. I just thought about just putting it at the top of the opponent's life. Because is he gonna play the Zorojiro next in the next few turns?
I don't think so.
I feel like every turn, if he would do that, that would be a bad turn. Just in terms of like how much pressure he applies. So you just put it at the top and have, like put a brick in his hand.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, you could even argue to do that before the swing. Let him take it if he wants to.
Yeah.
This is looking very comfy for blue purple now. If we see a Sanji or Katakuri, that's
Okay. Not sure what he's trying to do. Maybe he doesn't know it either.
he's Bive attacking.
I mean, he has a 6 drop in hand
He does.
from the trigger surge, which he didn't play last turn. And then now he almost started 6k, which would have been a 9 drop, I think. But like playing 6 drop and then this turn 9 drop would have been really strong. And you had it on for leader if you played the 6 drop, so no 9 mom shenanigans.
Yeah, I think that was
And then
A
now
bit
you
better.
plays the 9 drop. Yeah, but maybe like his entire hand was bricks and you just wanted to filter and thought that's the only turn he has time to do so. But I guess this deck plays giant, so not sure about that.
Yeah, fair enough. Know what?
And 10 you just take. Yeah, now it feels really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fairly difficult now because you don't have defenses from the rear Luffy either, which was
Yeah, you just get hit with, I mean, probably 6 or 7 from the leader, but probably 6, but then you get hit with 9 and 10.
like you're not at lethal, but pretty much.
Yeah. And then your opponent could play 2 bodies. Sanji. Yeah, Sanji and 9 cost Luffy would be insane now, I think. Because he's pretty healthy in life in hand. Then Luffy draws something. So he goes. He starts 10. Okay, I'm not sure how relevant that is. So 9 at leader. So yeah, there's no 9 Marm coming, it seems. Otherwise, you would have put that into life. And then Sanji into Luffy. It's a lot of pressure. Swings with the Lin Limber for leader, though.
That's interesting. Giant 2K? Right, sorry, Giant 1K? Oh, they're on 2K, yeah. Huh. I guess there's no Sanji.
Was that Asmir's little sister? Bringing him another sample Bonkley?
Okay. Are we gonna see Black Maria combat? I'm getting a bit of value off of her.
Yeah, Black Maria venue. I'm not sure if I like that actually. I didn't the turn. Feels like it wasn't too bad for Traich now. I mean, it's still not great, but could have been worse.
Ooh. I mean, I guess you kind of have to. Doesn't feel great.
Nah, that 2K felt a bit weird, to be honest.
I guess we're returning to Dawn, yeah. We're gonna go to 11 into Big Man, probably. Leave one on up because you kind of need to survive. Oh, 12.
I mean, yeah, that if it's 12 at the just gets gianted. Yeah, the 2K on the Bonkley. I'm not sure about that. Because it only, I mean, if your opponent swings 6 or 7 at you and you wanted to counter it with the leader in, then that didn't matter. But I
Yeah.
guess it only matters if your opponent swings 8 at you, which was unlikely. And then now you gave your opponent Don to swing at your big mom. But yeah, you had giant anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's some value of the prior turn just because we are getting giant, right? So since he didn't do minus for anything, we didn't see Luffy or Big Mom. But basically meant he was able to giant. But still, a Katakuri would have been pretty much a G on that spot.
Yeah, last turn, if he had rushed Luffy last turn, that would have been insane, I think. 9, 10, 10 at leader.
Yeah.
Okay, 6. Yeah, probably takes the 9.
There he is. 5 or 6 cards in hand. That's 2 done as well, so it's quite difficult to get rid of both and avoid the gear chew that we've already seen. So the 8 swings are kind of pointless.
He needs some defense, so I don't think he would commit to a bunch of 8s anyways.
No.
If he had like Rush Luffy or something, but yeah, no, he's just gonna do 8, 10, maybe play the chopper just for defense.
Mhm.
He has 5 down left, right? Yeah. So if he does 8 and 10, then he can play chopper and the Don. But then Usuhachi is a real card.
Very real indeed.
The 11?
11. Oh no, not 11.
Yeah, that was an awkward swing, to be honest.
I guess it demands giant plus 2k, but
Yeah, but 11 first when the... I think if
you
you
know,
just start 11, he just takes it.
yeah, 100%. And then you
Yeah.
get to counter or block,
Yeah.
or both.
Maybe he thought the Big Mom was still arrested
Oh,
enough to
that
go.
might have been it, yeah.
Wanted to go 11 at the Big Mom, but after taking Gear 2 to hand 11 at Big Mom, doesn't seem great. If we assumed it was rested.
9.
Oh yeah, Gear 2 is only leader. Bad card.
Mm-hmm. I have had to stop people for those cards. Like in local, I was like, oh, I'm gonna save my... No, you're gonna save your nothing with it. It does feel like it's guard point, but it's not quite guard point. Okay. I don't think there's a safe path to lethal here.
There's no giant. But he is a 7k leader.
Yeah, with a block.
I mean,
You know the
Usuhachi
life is a
and
brick.
swings. Usuhachi and swings, but we'll see if that gets there.
Yeah, so Hutchin swings could be it, but I do feel like Traich has a very healthy hand size.
Yeah, this time he has a lot of cards for you. Not 3.
And a 7k leader.
I guess there's no reason to go for game.
Okay.
This is a bit risky, maybe. Get to restand the Katakuri. But your opponent
Yeah.
has a lot of swings and possibly the 6-drop Luffy. Or another chopper.
Yeah, either of those are gonna be fairly terrifying. But even just normally speaking, you can do pretty much 3 12s, can you?
Yeah, but that's likely getting countered.
Yeah.
It's still a Luffy leader.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Six cards in hand. Technically speaking, you got 11 done with leader ability, right? You cannot even go 3-12s. You get to go 11, 12, 12. If you swing with Luffy first, I think. Oh, 12, 11, 12 actually. Because you need to minus something. If there's a chopper, then you got a good chance of getting through this.
Yeah, chopper, then you get one down back from your leader effect. So you
Yeah.
get rid of the don for 2 don.
I think so. You get 8 done to be used with 2 sevens and a 10. So you get to go 10, 10, 12 or 10, 11, 11. Still.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard finding a lethal here. But surviving also seems unlikely, so you kinda have to.
You absolutely do. I think if Chopper is in the equation, he would have already been used. We don't have a way to deal with that category. Well, I guess technically speaking, we could Gamma Knife plus Gam Lining.
That would be crazy. Or play Ragnaruku, the 5-cost event. But yeah, he doesn't play it.
No.
The one of lightning and Gamma Knife now would be crazy, to be honest.
Double one off, yeah.
I would love that.
Giant. Ah,
But yeah, there's still no way to survive this, is there?
no.
Maybe he has infinite giants and is confident that he can. But yeah, just Inusuachi on the chopper. And then there's a lot of done left, a lot of swings. But he has a 7k leader. Seven. Yeah, I guess you just pitch a 2k here. If you have it, that is.
You don't need to do that if you have it.
I mean, maybe you just take the swing and bait him or something, but yeah, there's no
What
point.
what were we looking for with Torajuro in this spot?
I mean, yeah, maybe his plan is surviving this. Just stacking infinite giants.
I think they're becoming quite finite at this point.
It's not a giant, that's low.
Yeah.
Close. It's only 3k
I guess
counter short and 2 cards.
there's also a benefit of like not finding giant, right? Because it means you're getting rid of 5 cards that didn't have giant at the top of your deck, so you can change giant to giant a bit more easily. But you are coping a bit there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went for trying to survive this.
Having the chopper in hand, I think I definitely start with an 8 swing, like chopper and an 8 swing, and then see what happens. You know? um,
What's this?
that category. Zoom yeah.
Oh, it's dead. That's crazy.
I think we had lethal.
Yeah, it seemed like he has no 2Ks in hand. Or counter in general. So I guess if he went for it, he would have had it. Because otherwise there's no reason to give up your Katakuri here.
Is there a line of play, something that Zoro Europe could find that would make this play worth it? Like, not just starting with Chopper. I mean, that could change your dynamic towards survival.
Not really, no. Not really. I was about
Sanji
to say
didn't
Gamma
help.
Knife, but no.
Gamma Knife didn't help. 'Cause you have no. Well, I guess Gamma Knife in. Oh,
No, you
you're gonna
can't
find
search.
it. So,
You
like, what?
can't. I mean, you
Yeah.
could search the lightning. So maybe he had Gamma Knife and wanted to search lightning, but that's still like an insane don investment because you paid for the
Yeah,
original. So no, that doesn't make sense.
that's a done. So that's not it. Rush Luffy, maybe? No, that doesn't really help you. The lethal. Suhachi doesn't help.
No,
No, I think then it probably should have been just like choppering and starting with a 10 and seeing what happens with that category.
but yeah, given that the Katakuri died now, I think he would have gotten there if he tried. Okay, starts a 9, but he has Usohachi in it. But yeah, I mean, you're not blocking the 9 now, I feel like. Unless you wanna start countering a 20k swing at your leader. Okay, Giants.
Huh.
Yeah, there's no Dawn on leader. So you can put the 6 drop in live.
Oh my, that's atrocious, yeah.
And now 2 live. And a Dawn. So you basically have to connect all
And
your
5
swings.
cards in hand. Mm. Yeah, the window's gone.
Maybe another chopper. And then trying to go for it and hope he bricked. And even with chopper, you have no way to return any Dawn. Aside from, yeah, just stay. I keep forgetting that chopper returns Dawn. If it's like a 3-4 with an effect, it's just a 3-4 with an effect. But yeah, then you have 8 Dawn, so you can
You can.
9, 10, 10, 8, 10, 11. But yeah, he's not going for game. I guess he wants to survive again. I mean, now he has a life. So,
He
but there's
does.
Sanji and Mom now that were not there before. He has another Luffy, so he has 7k leader, a blocker, and a life. But the life is a brick, and he had to use giant last turn.
I don't think we can kill one of those baddies either.
And we know
My
our
life.
opponent has a Nusuachi in hand. Because he picked it up last turn from leader ability. So that chopper on the board is not very real right now. Unless he has a second one. He just takes it.
Mm.
And do you just take the 10 at leader? I mean, he took the 7, so maybe he will take the 10 as well and just go for game.
If there's a giant. Oh, you don't get to leader ability? Huh. Is that 3 cards from hand?
Where did the 10 go? Was that 2-1 case?
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
the
that
10
was 10
went
at
at,
mom.
yeah, 10 at mom. I guess that makes more sense if you know you don't you're not able to go for game anyways. Just tenant mom. Okay, picks up another 2k. But he only has one Don, so maximum one giant. And the blocker is not very real because Uswachi is in his hand.
Get to overtime.
They have 4 minutes. I think that might be the last 2 turns now. I feel like Asmir
Yeah,
goes for game now.
I'd be surprised if we even get 2 turns.
I mean, yeah.
There's 5 cards in hand. You know the life is a brick. And you have 3 9 swings, a 10 and a 6.
I mean, you could try surviving this now again. Maybe as another mom or something.
Well, is it worth it? I feel like even through a giant.
I mean, let's say you get rid of the Zorojuro on board. Maybe you survive. But yeah, I would just go for game. There's a 6-drop Luffy, there's a 9-cost Luffy, an active Zorojuro, and then your opponent may have the Rush Luffy as well.
Yeah, we do know one of the cards is a 1k, right? So we do know it's not all 2ks on a giant. Every 9 string, it's 2 cards or a giant.
Yeah, the Yasusachi land from the turn before.
You just have to connect 2. Given how conservative we've been not giving that counter from Sahachi. It's definitely a time to go lethal. I feel like you and I are a bit more aggressive with lethals than most players, though. That might be right or wrong. But this is the second turn we we kind of agreed that lethal was the play from each one of the players.
What are the swings here? Just Usachi and then start 11 or start 9?
I think you start 9.
I think I would have started 11 with Luffy after Usachi and see what happens. Because that's giant and a 1k at least, and then you can just do 9-9 and just get the cards from your opponent and then adjust.
Yeah. I guess technically you cannot hit that 11. Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
he agrees on my 11.
Mm-hmm. That guarantees the break on hand. But I don't know, I feel like hitting a 9 is also extremely
Yeah,
terrifying.
both are fine, I think, especially because
Yeah.
there's no counter in life. It doesn't really matter what order you hit. You're gonna get the same response probably. But yeah, now you giant this and then 1k.
Yeah, I mean, now you basically do know
And
that
then
life is a brick and there's nothing about it.
and how many cards? It's hard to tell how many cards he has because he's playing in the dark with
I
like
think
purple
it was
sleeves.
6, if I'm not mistaken from before.
And I would do probably just 11 again
Now
because
it's definitely.
there's a brick in life, so if it doesn't really matter what order you swing at. You could start 9-9, but I would do 11 again. And if he takes it, just everything on one of the characters. I think I know it's hard to tell if it's math because I don't know how many cards he has in hand, but yeah, just 11 again.
I will need 3 cards of hand. Yep,
Gave
2k,
him.
2k, 1k.
Okay, now he has 3 cards, I think.
Yep,
And then you
that's it.
just do 11-11.
We were on.
Or
Okay.
if you do 9 and he gives you 2 cards, you do 9-10.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
math.
you start 9, yeah, 9, yeah, not 11. You do 9.
No,
9.
there is a chance that 11-11 gets countered, right?
Yeah, 9 is better. If you do 9 and he counters it, then
You math with leader.
yeah, 9 and 10.
Mm.
Can we pull up the screenshot saying of Traich saying he has an easy game this week?
Mhm. I mean, it, I think Traich did have a couple of windows where he could have pulled ahead because Asmir was very bricked early on. Like he didn't really have strong plays till the last 2 turns of the game.
Yeah, I feel like if we went for a game, the one turn where he played defensive, the way Asmir played, it felt like there might have been a window to go for
Troubles
game.
in paradise. Yeah.
But it
Like we
was
don't know.
unlikely. It was unlikely to go for game. So maybe if Traich was looking at his hand and just saw a bunch of counter, he just thought it's more likely to survive. It's hard to tell if you don't see the player's hands. For us, it just
Yeah.
looked like he's dead.
I mean, he was close enough to surviving, so there's that. But it is definitely weird because it's just the snowballing effect, right? Like from that point on, it's very difficult for you to take the game any other turn because he doesn't even need to be playing the big bodies anymore, right? In that moment, he had enough pressure to just play somewhat defensive and slowly pile up on you. Like if you find one of your um, Luffy's to go for board or rush Luffy's to kind of bounce the sort of Euro back to hand and cater with the pressure, you can have more than one done fairly easily from the BP perspective and just draw 2 cards per turn and get away with the game. I I think it was more about identifying that you didn't have a window to win afterwards. At least for me, that's why I would have gone lethal, even if it wasn't super likely to get it.